Hey everyone. So this is second part of the Angular library stream which I was doing. So in last week not last week, I think 2 weeks ago we discussed about how you can create Angular libraries using NX and Angular Workspace. And hey Codephobia, hi, thanks for joining. And today we will continue with the same. We'll see how you can add secondary entry points, but of course before we move ahead and see how you can add secondary entry points, we will talk about why you need a secondary entry points. So yep, let's go ahead and do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue with the same repository which I had created, and it's available on GitHub as we saw last time. So in case you want to check it out, you can just go to my GitHub repository or just go to my GitHub account. You will be able to find this one. So let's see what we had done so far. So we created a project. We created this is an library. Yep, this is a library. So we added an employee library to this project, and then we use this library inside our application, so which is this one, app component. And if you go to app module, we are using employee module here. So what we will do now is let's add one more module to our library project, and we will not use it. So I'll just structure a little bit using a yarn monorepo. No, I'm just using Angular monorepo. And for another example, yeah, it's an Angular monorepo, and another one which we have is NX monorepo. So yeah, so let's go ahead and do that. I'll just create another module. So here, so integrated terminal, so I'll just say ngm, and I'll call it as department, and it should create its own folder and put all the files there. Okay, and inside department, or let's add a component. So ngc and a department component. Hey Vasant, hi, thanks for joining. So okay, so that's it. So we have this department component and employee component, and now in public API I'm going to expose both. So I'll say, okay, this is /lib/ department / module, and I'll also add component, department component. So once this is done, the next thing which we have to do is we have to go ahead and add build this library before we can go ahead and use it. So I'll just say ng build and employee, which is name of my library. So let's build it. And done. So now the library is built, and I can go to app module, and you can see I can now also access department module, but we don't want to. So the scenario is, let's say we have a library which exposes employee module and as well as department module, but we are just using employee module. That's it. We are not using department module. So the expectation is department module code should not be available inside app. That's what we want to achieve, because not everyone is going to use everything, right? This is the concept of tree-shakable. I mean, making your libraries tree-shakable. So in case you have used Angular material, you may be aware of imports like Angular /material /table /cdk / some other module, right? So input or form module. So what they have done is they have made their entire library tree-shakable. So in case someone just uses table, they don't have to actually go ahead and include everything else. I mean, all other controls, right? So that's the advantage which you get by creating a tree-shakable library. So let's go and build this, which is already done. So what we are going to do is we are now have to check what's included in my application. So what are the ways? We actually need to use a tool which is available, and I'm going to use one which is Source Map Explorer. And I had written one small utility on top of Source Map Explorer to be used with Angular. So let's go back and see that. So here NGX Builder, Source Map Analyzer. So this utility I had written for myself. So in case I want to use, or I want to actually see what's included in my application, I can just go ahead and do that. So we have to just run this ng add. So let's go ahead and do this ng add ngx builders analyze, and then we can run this command. I have to just make sure that I'm adding diff loading false, because differential loading is not enabled in Angular 11 and above, so it will fail. I mean, while it is getting built, I just received this. I'm sure you can see. So GitHub just sent this to me. I think they sent it to many developers out there. So this is how your 1500 commits look like on a 3D steel. So it is printed on a steel. So it is 3D printed by a 3D printer. So it's actually a lot heavier than it looks like. Okay, so done. So now this particular library, or it is added. So it's only for your just to figure out okay what's included in your package. Don't worry, it's nothing which will increase your bundle size. So it's just a utility, and will be only used on local. Let's go ahead and make this. I think I should go ahead and make it false by default now, because most of the application which I have, okay, there's a catch, because there are a few which are still using differential loading, so I cannot do that. But yeah, so let's go. Yeah, this is the one, analyze. So you can see there is an option which is analyze, which got added here, and I have to just add this diff loading. Diff loading, and I'll just say okay, this is false. Okay, so once this is done, we have to just run this command. So let's go ahead and do that. I will just add it to package.json just to make it analyze. And you can say ng run your application name. So this is how it is. So application name, Angular lib demo, and then your builder name. So builder name is analyze. It should be, yep. Okay, so once this is done, now I can just run npm run analyze to my application, and it will actually build my application in production mode with source map enabled, and it will also go ahead and open a web page on my machine, which will contain the information what is included in my application right now. Yeah, actually it's a lot heavier than it looks like. I mean, so it looks really small, but actually it's heavy, quite heavy. Okay, so let's see. It's creating the application bundles right now. That's just actually building the application. You can also go to skyline.github.com, I think, and you can see your 3D graph. Okay, so here we are. So I'm sure this is really small, but let me just zoom in. So this is the entire application. This is how it looks like, and you have, this is main bundle, and it includes your Angular router, common platform browser. Right now, it's really hard to see the library, Angular library, because it's really small. It is really tiny. So let's go ahead and see if it is available here. Operators. Okay, let's go back to main. Operators, subscriber, CommonJS. Node modules. It becomes really difficult to see. Okay, let's just add something. Let's add something in the code, so it becomes a little bit big to actually see it here. Right now it's hardly visible because the code hardly contains anything. So let's see in main if I can see it. No, ES 2015. This is internal operators, subscriber. This is observables. No, this is not what I'm looking at. RxJS, and then this is related to Angular. I think, yep, this is Angular. Node modules, Angular, and I think it should not be in Angular. Okay, it's really small, so so we have, this is, let's say, this is, let's see, this is your 200 KB file and the combined is 238 KB, and let's see if we can show you here. Probably, I think if I see my main.js file, it should be available. So just a hack which I'm doing right now, because in case you have a big library, of course everything will be available, visible in the this report which we have seen. But as of now, let's go ahead and see the bundles, right? So I can just go back to src and employee department, and I will look for department component. Okay, so this main.js, it should not be. Okay, so here we have employee, and this, let's see if we have department. Okay, so VSM here. Okay, so this department is included here inside my build, and it should be available inside the final bundle, I think, but somehow it's not visible. Runtime, it does not contain anything. Map, okay, what about here? Employee. Okay, so lib employee. Yep, so here it is, lib-employee and employee works. Employee service cannot enable prod mode. What about department? So it's not included, is it? Control F. Okay, so somehow department is still not available here, because probably we are using it from local. So I think that's probably the scenario. But here we can see actually in our library we have, so department, and this employee is also available here. What we can do is we can actually make it, we can add secondary entry points. So while importing anything, so I'll just go back to Angular app module here. So while importing, right, so we have employee module from employee, which is which goes to this public API, and public API contains this exports. So it has a single entry point, and now I can make some changes. So in case I want to access department, I have to say employee/department. So this is what secondary entry point means. So let's go ahead and make some changes to the library which we have here. So first thing which we have to do is we have to go ahead and disable the primary entry point, which is, if I go to tsconfig.spec.json, it should be here in paths, not spec but tsconfig.json. so it should be available in here in paths. So you can see employee, which refers to dist employee and /employee, because this is where the final bundle will be generated. So dist employee, and inside this, okay, I'm not sure why there are two, but I think this is the one, dist/employee. So I'll just remove this. Let's hope this will not cause any issues, which it should not. And here let's verify the put path for application, that's fine, and build, and okay, looks good to me. I'm not sure from where we had this dist employee/employee. And what we are going to do is we are going to disable the primary entry point. So I'll say, okay, dist/employee, so employee/star. So it will say, okay, I cannot export or I cannot import anything from employee directly. So it will disable that. And then we are saying, okay, it should also target to dist employee/star. So let's go ahead and build this library again. Okay, done. So now if I go to app module, let's go ahead and see. So we have employee and dist employee. Okay, now let's make some changes to the library. So in library, what we have to do is, there are two ways. In case I want to make something like employee/department and employee/employee, same example as of Angular material, right? So in Angular material you have Angular/material/cdk, Angular/material/ your table, your input, so multiple, so something like that. So we will follow the same structure, but before we go ahead and do that, let me show you how actually Angular material does it. So here, because Angular material does not use Angular CLI, so they use Bazel. I can go to Angular/components and see material. Okay, so you can see they have actually structured each code inside each folder. So you have autocomplete, badge, button, and this is how it is. But important thing to see is this one, TS library, Angular material, and nested packages, entry point name, entry point, and there is something which should be available. Config, here it is. So you can see in Angular material source code, you will be able to see this config.bazel, and this is where they have configured entry points. So each folder actually represents an entry point. So you have your imports like material/dialog, material/date picker, material/date picker/testing. So these are entry points which is done via using Bazel for Angular material. So let's do inside Angular CLI now. And for Angular CLI, now we are going to do is we are going to have employee and as well as employee/department. So here I'll just go back and save this. Okay, it was not saved. Let's build it again. So just for demo purpose, I will move this all files inside an employee folder. So we have employee/employee and employee/department. So let's go back to our library now. Here I will add few files. So I have to add index.ts. Just close other files. Okay, and then I can just do public -api.ts, and then I can add a package.json. So Angular libraries, they use something known as ng-packager, and that's what I'm doing here. So we will be using ng-packager to configure it. And let's go back to another. So this extra package.json which we have here, we will add package, ng-package, lib and entry file, which is public-api.ts. And here in public API we will export. So remember the department export which we had added, so I'll just make it available here. I mean, we'll remove /department and from here as well. So this is for department, and then from index.ts we will export star from public API. So this is something which I'll just show you why it is used. And then we will move this all files. So I'll just create another folder and I'll create it as employee, and let's move all this inside employee. And same, so here I'll also add index.ts, and then public-api.ts, and then we have package.json. In package.json we will do the same thing, so I'll just copy this. And this is something which is mentioned on the ng-packager website as well, in case you want to remember it. So we will see, okay, export from public API, and public API is right now empty, so I'll add this two imports. Sorry, not this two, but there are 4. So we have employee lib, employee component, employee module, employee service, and what this employee is. Okay, this is an interface, so I'll just also export the interface. Okay, looks good so far, and this will become empty. This, and let's try to build the library now. So I'll say okay, ng-build employee. So it says okay, compiling TypeScript through ngc, and internal error, failed to get symbol for entry point. And okay, so here we have to add 2 things: export star from @employee, no, not @ but employee / okay, what I have done. So okay, so let's see employee, and then let's see, export star from employee, cannot find module employee or its corresponding type declaration, so it's okay. And public API, I think I can just keep it empty. let's see. Not saved. Mark. It says okay. Mark says it's lib/employee. And handled. So yep, he's right. So lib/ let's see. Export star from lib. Nope, not see. Doesn't work here, but let's make it work. So what we can do, public API, then public -api.ts. Okay, there is a reason. So I think it's employee /dst/employee. So I'll just move this to this is lib, and there should be a file. Okay, just move it inside src directly, and this public API as well. Let's see what. Oh, okay. So I think this was my fault. Just mentioned in wrong file. So I'll say okay, this is export star from public API, and then I just moved this inside src directly, and I'll just move public API outside as well. And this public API, I think this can be empty right now, and this lib does not contain anything. Okay, let's try to build now. ng build employee. Yes, so I'm trying to configure secondary entry points, Mark. So it's like the same structure which our Angular material has, just to make our libraries tree-shakable. So that's what I'm trying to do. So it says okay, ng a public API not found, employee src public API project. Angular lib projects employee src, it's there, right? So public -api.ts, package.json, public -api.ts, department, and let's try to do this. Export star from why it is not working here. DST. Nope. Just a second. Okay, so what I will do here is I will just add a scope, or so it's okay, this is @lib/employee, and similarly I think do I need to, no, so inside my package.json I'll just make it same. Okay, this is my library name. Probably if I do this it should work. Export star from, oh, okay, I think it should do the trick. Public API package.json here. So I'll just make the name of the library same. So I'll say okay, this is name of the because if I see building entry points Santosh employee demo, this is what it is trying to do. I'll say okay, this is tricky. Where is the path? I've just added this namespace here to this package name. Now it should be fine. So let's try to do it now. Still it should throw an error, but let's see. So okay, it is trying to build lib/employee now, and okay, so the next is this one done, and package.json public API @lib/employee/employee. Okay, I'm not sure why path is not updated here, but it should be cool. And department. Okay, let's, and in package.json, nice, ng package, we have to remove this src. Okay, let's see. What's now? So it says entry point is which is required by doesn't exist. Okay, let's remove this as of now. I think I was referring to the wrong file anyways here, so my public API doesn't exist inside src anymore. Is it? Okay, still I am inside the src folder, so I'll just move it outside the employee. That's what I wanted to do. And lib, I think this is okay now. So public API is out inside. Okay, so employee folder contains this and everything. Okay, why it is not taking the updated paths? Okay, probably I'll just restart my editor. It should fix it. You are saying there's a typo, employee versus employee. Okay, probably employee, and then lib employee slash. Okay, now we have this lib/employee. Let's see why it is not accessing employee emplo. It's same, right? So I don't think so there is any typo here. ng packages, this is the name is same. Let's see. Okay, first let's try to do it without ng build. Yeah, that's good, but it is not building right now, so that's the problem. Let's see. Probably I just named it really confusing. Internal failed. What is wrong with this? So lib/employee, and then we have /department/employee. Let's try to do export star from employee / okay, so it is saying what else is there? lib/employee. So dst only contains Angular lib demo, does not contain this code. So okay, let's do one thing. Let's remove this as of now because I think it is causing a lot of confusion. So this should give me department folder, but it is not. Okay, so let's see again. So ds it contains public API. Public API contains this too. This is package.json, and it is inside employee folder. Is it? Label in File Explorer. Okay, looks correct. Let's do something. Package.json. This is fine. ng package public API. dist employee. This is also good. Public API.ts. I'll just remove this as of now because I think let's see what it does now. So it is building entry point lib/employee, and it says okay, again failed to get. My god. Yeah, I mean that's a way, but I don't want to do that for a reason. Actually, package public API, so I can also do this export star from department/index. This is also something which we can do. And I think it should build. Okay, now it failed in this public-api.ts. Oh my god, can you believe it? So it by default it looks for a file called public-api, and I just made a mistake and I made it a typo and did it as publish somehow. I'm not sure why. Employee, and now the department should be available. So let's see ng build employee. So a typo can screw up your entire day. Thank God it was like just 10 minutes, 10-15 minutes. So now we have employee/department. So this is built, and now this is also built. So we have two entry points to our code, so or to our library, you can say, and you will be able to see it here. So inside employee, you'll see department is something which is in separate folder. And now if I go to my public, go to my application, so I can just go to my app again, and here you can see by default employee is not allowed, but I can do employee. Sorry, I have given an namespace now, so I can say employee/department, and from this I can use department module. So this is what you can do. And I think another one should be lib/employee, and this is because I removed all the code. So here, should I go ahead and add it again? Let's do it. So public discard. And this should be available inside here, public API. So let's move it inside another folder. I will not call it as employee. Let's do something else. I'll say EMP, just to avoid the same name, as in it shouldn't matter, but so EMP. And now I can just add my index.ts. Again, small typo, so I'll say okay, this is the index.ts, then public-api.ts, and what else I need is a package.json. So let's go ahead and add package.json. Here I can just do package, and in public API I can just add those imports which is available here, and just remove this lib. And export star from public API and src ng package public API, and again here I'll just say this from lab/emp. Let's verify again. So before we build it, public-API and this is index.ts and package.json. So I think this is lib/emp, and let's build it again. So I'll just do ng build employee. Now let's see. Now it should build employee/department and employee/emp, two entry points. Yep, and we have of course lib/employee as well, which is our main library. And now I can go to my project, and so wherever once you publish it, so we'll be able to use it as lib/employee/ and what we need is emp, and from here I can just expose or take employee module, and from here I can just take department module. Hey Wasim, thanks for joining. So we'll be live with Wasim in few hours, I think another 2 hours, and we will be talking about the Azure Static Web Apps. So in case you want to join us, it will be live on both Twitch and YouTube, so feel free to join wherever you want to. Okay, so this is done. So now we have two entry points, employee/department, employee/emp, and once you publish it, you can actually use it like this. So you don't have to take everything. So if you see you try to use lib/employee, it will not allow you to import anything the same way as Material does. So the only difference is of course Material is using Bazel and I'm not using Bazel. I am trying to use ng packager. So cool. So this is how you do it using Angular monorepo. And why I moved this, so I have to still mention one thing. Yeah. So why I moved this outside employee, I mean outside SRC, because I wanted to keep my imports like this, lib/employee/emp and lib/employee/department. If it's inside SRC, I have to mention SRC, which actually Mark was also mentioning that I should go ahead and yes. So Mark, you can actually refer to one library which I built. Let me just share this because I refer to this whenever I have to configure secondary entry points. So this is one which I refer. So here I don't want to do this, and there is also one more reason about not giving the relative path here. Let's say I have some part of my library which is being used internally. For example, I have some kind of util which I want to access outside library, as well as I want to actually use it inside the library as well. This is where this imports come handy. So let's do that. So let's take an example. I'll create an util, and this util contains a util.ts, and again this 3 files, right? So I can say index.ts and public-api.ts and our package.json. So this is package.json. So I'll of course package.json remains same. Then public API, which exports util, and util is empty right now, but that's why it is complaining my VS Code. Export star from / public API. And now here I'll just add some utility function. So let's say probably an add function. This is the this exposes add function here. So I'll say okay, this is X function, and I'll say export, and it takes 2 parameters as most of the add function does on the internet. So number and comma, and I will say num2, which is again number, and it returns a number. So I'll say okay, this is returns num1 plus num2. Done. So we have this utility function which should be available once you do something or export something from util, and let's try to use it inside employee. So that's why I actually name it as this path, whole path. So I'll say this is lib/employee/util, and now I can use this util inside wherever I want to. So I'll say, okay, this is import from employee/util, and this util function has add inside this. So I'll say this is add ng on init, and we'll call just add function with two parameters 2,5, and that's it. So this is of course a demo. So let's try to build now employee again. So we will have 3 entry points, including util. So we'll say department, and then there should be employee, and there should be an util. So you can see util is getting util is actually built before employee, because employee depends upon emp depends upon util, right? So that's how you can access it directly here. And if I try to give a relative path, it will fail. So this is something which you have to keep in mind when working with secondary entry points. So try to actually give, this is the path which we have inside tsconfig.json, and then /folder. That's why I kept everything inside employee, so I can keep my imports clean. Otherwise, of course, lib/employee/src /lib/your folder name, which will look really odd. Libs from src public. So do we need to reference the public API? So if you see, let's do that. Okay, so what I will do is I'll just export something from index.ts. Let's try this out. But probably the thing is, ng packager needs this public API file. So let's try to do index.ts. Probably we can avoid a file. So let's try this now. So we have department, but as far as I remember, ng packager directly references. Yeah, I think this is possible because we remove public API. In case you don't define it, ng packager by default looks for public -API. That's why I follow this standard. So in case you want to remove it, but just make sure that in package.json you have entry file as index.ts, and it will still work. Okay, so this is how we do it inside. I'm talking about one in src folder. Let's see, src, this is empty. No, this is not needed anymore. I just kept it because this test.ts file exists here. I can remove it. So or because this test.ts, I have to change the path, otherwise it will again fail. Probably should not, because I'm not running any test, but let me just, for safety, right? So I can just remove this and then remove src./lib folder entirely, and it will work. It is not needed because I have already moved all the files, all the folders inside on top of the root of the folder, right? Or to root of the library. You can remove it, you can delete. Okay, so this is how you do it for Angular monorepo, but as we last time we saw for both, I'll push this git add git. We'll see for NX as well. So let's see. NX has few advantages because you don't need to do all the steps remain same in case you want to do it for publishable library, but there is an hack in case you don't want to do it for publishable library. So let's see both probably and it. Okay, so this is, I have to update it. probably I will do it later on. But let's see another one which I had created for NX lib demo. I think this should be the one. Yeah. So to do public publishable libs main. This is an NX monorepo where we have multiple libraries out there. So I'll say okay, libs to do shared and then to do util. I think there was one for okay. I think that is not merged yet, so probably that's why. Go to repositories and NX. Libs to do share, to do comment, to do util. Why I can see only 2 here? Because probably I have to do git pull. This range pull from main. Okay, so I got these 3 libraries which we saw last time. So the way I created these 3 libraries was first one which I don't want to build, because remember in when you go to NX DevTools, you have some advantages. When you create a buildable library, you can cache it. So in case you have large application and you want to split it into split your entire code base into multiple libraries, the advantage which you get is the caching. So you can actually build libraries, cache it, and then you can also enable the incremental build for your application. I think it's really well documented on NX DevTools, nx.dev. Getting started, Angular, and there is a section for incremental build, and this is what I was talking about. So you can actually build libraries and then you can enable the incremental build for your application, which saves a lot of time in case you have an entire big application which takes a lot of time to build. They have created 2 builders, Angular Webpack Browser and Angular ng Packager Lite. So all the libraries should use this one, ng Packager Lite, and application should use Angular Webpack Browser, and for server purpose you should use Angular Web File Server. So there are few changes of course you need to make inside your application, otherwise everything remains same. And now let's go ahead and see. So first one was of course without any build process. Then we had to do shared, which was, I think, let's see, package angular.json build table annex.json. Okay, so I think shared was something which we need to publish, is it? Okay, it's quite, actually it's 2 weeks, so I'm trying to remember. Okay, so this one was publishable, NX lib demo to do shared, and then to do common was something which was buildable. I can build and use it locally. So in NX, what you can do is you can also do something like this, which is also possible in case you don't want to build and publish it. So let's take an example of to the util src lib, and let's add one more file. So I'll just say this is a function, probably let's not name it a function, a calculator.ts, and I can add some function here. So I'll say export function, add, I'll just subtract num1, which is type of number, and num2, which is again type of number, and I can just say return num1 minus num2. Okay, so not a problem. So this is there are 2 files, calculator and util, and if I go to, let's see where we had used this one, get status. So you can see I'm not able to access another function because I have not imported it, or it's not added into our the public API file, right? So it's not exposed till, right? So I cannot access calc.ts, but I can do something like this in NX. So I can go to tsconfig.base.json. I'm not saying you should do it, but I can do something like this. So I can just stop exporting, stop importing everything from lib/util, and here I can just say take src lib/star. So remember this. So I am just stopping all the imports from to do util directly. So I cannot say just go ahead and use nx lib/demo/to do util, which we did here. Let's go back to the code base here. So you can see it is already giving me error that I cannot access it, and then I can do something like this. So it's kind of having secondary entry points, but without doing anything. I mean, you don't have to build and publish it. You can just make some changes to your paths. So again, let me show you what are the changes which we made. So we said, okay, to do /util, earlier it was /to_do_util, and then I can add it //star. So I'm just disabling the entry points, or disabling everything which can be imported from to do util. And then similarly here I'm saying go inside lib and look for all the files. Done. So kind of you have secondary entry points. So you of course, when you try to move it inside a buildable library or publishable library, this will fail. This will not work. But in case you don't want to have a buildable or publishable library, go ahead and use it. I think should be easy to do it. I mean, so you can just use the function, and you don't have to use even your index.ts. I can just remove it. It's not used anymore. What is the reason to export all secondary entry points from the root public API? Okay, so we don't have to do anything, everything, but what we can do is we can just add whatever needs to be used internally. I think I was learning at that time, so I added everything just to make sure that everything builds, but you don't have to. And now let's go back to see how we can do it. So for a buildable and publishable library, the step remains same as we did for the Angular libraries. So we have to, of course, go ahead and add this one. I can just go to /shared. I can just stop the export from here, and here also I can just do src/star, or I can just do shared/star. So based on how you want to keep your import. So if I say src/star, I have to while referring it internally, I have to say lib/to_shared/src/ whatever entry points we have. So I like to keep it clean, so I think you should not include src in the path. Same for here. So I cannot access anything from to do shared now. So if I see to do shared module, let's see if I have used it anywhere. Yep, here it is, and it is already complaining about, okay, I cannot do this, and I can do this src/ and then I can just access lib, because remember in NX the one advantage which you get is you don't have to build everything. You can just use it as it is. So I can just go to now let's fix this imports. So here I'm using to do shared, so I can go to do shared. I can just move this to do list outside, same as we did for Angular library. So I can just say, okay, this is hey Mark, yeah, bye, see you. Can just move this to do shared to do list, and I'll just move this here. index.ts, I'll just remove it. To do app lib, let's remove this as well. src setup, I'll just move it outside as well. So so to do list and ng package src slash, as we have only one file, let's see if I can just do something like adding an index.ts here and export star from component, export star from module, and then src, rather than src I can do to do list. Okay, so let's try to build to do shared. I think it's an buildable library, to do shared. Here we can see source root and ng build to do shared. So it says to do shared module. Which one I'm trying to build? Okay, this. Okay, cool. Let's see. So it says cannot find module to do list component. Okay, I have to probably change some imports. Looks like this one. Okay, so this is built now and I can see, so you have ngx build to do shared. Let's try to use it now. So I can just go back to the code which I had used here, and to do shared slash, why it is going to src, because it does not contain anything, lib nx lib demo, nx lib demo to do shared. Okay, I think I have to add an index.ts or public API, so I'll just add index.ts here, index.ts. So, and then from here I'll say export star from nx lib shared slash to do list, and ng packager I can just change this to index.ts dot slash index.ts, and let's see now. Cool. So entry point nx to do list which is required doesn't exist, so we have to add one package.json. So let's add that as well, package.json, and then we can just add the same code which we added earlier. So I'll just go back. Now done. So it will be added as a secondary entry point. And did I made a mistake? Okay, because of course public API does not exist, so I have to change this to index.ts, and let's see which file is not saved. Okay, app module. So almost same step, same steps. You have to do it for NX as well. The only thing is you can do it without building your library, so you don't have to mention dst slash whatever path which is available here. And now once it is built, I can go to shared and slash index. Why it is showing index? Let's see. Libs to do list index.ts, which is okay because I am exporting this, probably that's why. Okay, let's see if I can just keep it empty and package.json index.ts. Okay, cool. Let's try with this because I don't want to change my path like this. App module, so I don't want to use this, but I want to use to do utils. So okay, what's there? So sources through building EntryPoint, failed to get symbol for EntryPoint, to do shared. Let's see if I can make it just an empty file. Index.ts. Okay, I think strange. Slash to do utils, to do list, and now it should build. Okay, so done. So we have from this to this, and okay, so to do shared, nxlib demo to do shared. Let's see, nxlib to do shared slash let's go back to the path. So to do shared slash to do slash star. Export star from to do list. Ng package is this. Okay, let's try with public -api dot ts. Oh, let's add a public -api dot ts, and let's move this to here. Package.json, I'll just use public -api.ts here, and I'll just say export star from /public API. Let's try with this now. I don't think so there should be any problem with build, but let's see how we can import it. Okay, still to do shared slash this one. So let's do one thing. I'll just add a public -api dot ts here, and then use remove this index.ts, ng package public -api, and let's see. So it says probably this might be something to do with dst folder, but I doubt that. To do shared, so let's see, libs dst libs, and then we have common to do shared. To do list is available here, so why it is not available? Because of this is really strange, because it should not be like this. I should be able to access the folder, but to do shared slash to do list. This is what I should be able to do. Slash to do hyphen list. Okay, so it is available, but somehow the IntelliSense was not working, so it goes to public API. So I think this is good. So you now have configured the secondary entry point inside NX library as well, and the steps are similar. So as we saw, you can actually, in case of something like util, you can directly disable it from here. You don't have to actually configure secondary entry point. For buildable and publishable libraries, the steps are same as of Angular, as we did for Angular monorepo. You can actually refer to a repository which is available here. So let me just show you. This is NGX builders, NGX Bulma. So when I was learning about secondary entry points, this is I did this project and I configured the secondary entry point. So this is a good I would say, in case you are trying to learn how to configure it, you can just refer to this library or this package. You will be able to figure out. There are blog posts which I will suggest. So there is one from Thomas. Medium. Okay, so let me just check if I'm entering his name properly. It's Trazen. Blogs. So you can refer to his blogs. There was an blog. That's the best way to architect Angular libraries. This is also a good blog in case you are trying to create your own library. So I think go ahead and read this library. And there was one from another friend of mine. So you can also refer to, what is that? ng packager. Tree-shakable Angular libraries. Kevin. So another one is from Kevin. So in case you want to also have a little bit idea about ng packager and how to do it, and this is a really good library blog post. In case you can also do this, read this, how to create a fully tree-shakable icon library. Or there was one more, ng samurai. Yeah, this is good, and these are two great articles which I will suggest in case you want to go ahead and configure or make your Angular libraries tree-shakable. So this is it for the day. So this code will be available on GitHub. So in case you want to refer them, I think the best is just to refer the NGX builders, NGX Bulma, and otherwise, in case you want to see this code, this is also available on my repository. So you can just go to my repositories and NX lib demo. So this is what you can refer to. Commit added. And let's do a git push. Okay. Cool. So you can refer NX lib demo, and another one was, I think, with Angular, but it's okay. You can for Angular 1 you can refer to the Nginx Bulma. I think that's good enough. So this is it for today now, and we will be live soon in few hours with Wasim. We'll be talking about Azure static web apps. So, and the CLI tool, which you might have seen on, in case you are using a static web Azure static web apps, you might have seen on Twitter. They recently released the CLI for the same. So we'll be talking about it as well. So see you in few hours. In case you are available, please join us on Twitch or YouTube, wherever you want to.